Hello friends, how are you doing? Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone, welcome. I just came back from this wonderful opera. It's called Omar and it's called Omar. It just premiered at the San Francisco Opera House today, and I want to tell you the story of Omar Ibn Said. He had been born in what is now Senegal, in Futo, in Senegal, between the rivers. Senegal, he was born there. When he was in his 30s, he was captured as a slave and brought to America on those horrible slave ships. And he spent the rest of his life in America, in South Carolina, Charleston, around there. And he is actually buried in America. The special thing about Omar bin Said is he is an outstanding human. Even though he had been enslaved, brought over a ship, he remembered who he was. He remembered his faith, like his belief in goodness and belief in God, and belief in what is good, in no matter what's happening to us, it's for our own benefit. So like an example of this is, once he was captured in his jail cell, he wrote the Quran in his jail cell. And it's like, can you imagine, like, somebody captures you, you're a slave, you're like literally 10,000 miles from your home, and you on your jail cell, like he wrote the Quran on his jail cell. It was so beautifully written that the daughter of the jailer, like, she was like, Dad, check this out, like there's some magic words. If God was like, this man who wrote these words, he has God's ear. If God was like, these look like God's words. And like that's how much beauty and faith was in his words, and the words that he wrote on his jail cell. And like, it is magic, like just like that daughter of the jailer said, like there is magic in it, so much magic that after 140 years after he was brought here, he died here, his name is being played in like an opera theater, like the by far the most prestigious house in this grand city of San Francisco. So that's how much magic there is in faith and belief in Allah. And like, when a person really connects to that, it's just so beautiful. So Omar bin Said, like, what a man, like what a man. It's like it's impossibly beautiful. Like what a person. I'm just like I'm just blown away. And like he wrote his whole autobiography in Arabic, which is his mother tongue. He had been actually an imam, a trader in his home, Senegal, Africa. He had been an imam, and he read the Quran, he learned the Quran, he memorized it and on the fiqh, the Sharia, and all of that for the first 25 years. So he had been very accomplished, very learned man. And like, he'd actually something that he carried all his life. So he actually, when he was in America, he was actually he wrote as a slave, he wrote his autobiography in Arabic. And that's a special thing, because the Arabic that he wrote, that was unedited. It was not edited, modified by his captors. Unlike a lot of the beautiful humans who were captured as slave and actually wrote their autobiographies, they wrote most of these autobiographies were written in English, and then the captors would keep the words that they liked. They wouldn't publish everything, editorial control, as they say. but Umar bin Said, he wrote in Arabic, and because the captors did not understand Arabic, and like in a way, Umar bin Said, he had divine protection, so his like the whatever he wrote comes to us unmodified by any man, so to speak. So it's pure, and like his what he wrote about, what he experienced. He wrote as if he wrote as a free man. He wrote as a free man, and that's like so beautiful. Like even though he had been physically enslaved, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, religiously, had never been captured. So that's divine. Like what a may God bless him, and what an example. Like he's an example of a person who, no matter what's happening outside, a free person, a full person, a whole person, like being true to oneself, like being true to oneself, like surrounded by nobody is telling you like you have to do this, but even then, like, you know, that person does this. What an example, what a shining light to everyone around him. Then I cannot imagine how beautiful a person he would be to people who experienced him being there around him when he was living, and even now, like 100 years later, like what an inspiration. And one thing was like, there was a fellow person. I'm not going to say slave, because slave is like, one can be physically captured as a slave is, but not be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, religiously captured. So there was this person, Julie, who like him had been enslaved, and she had told him that, Omar, you must write this. You wrote one word, write a page, then write a book, because if you don't write it, our story will be not remembered. You will not be remembered. So that is to say, like how powerful the human spirit is, how beautiful it is to have the human spirit. And like Omar, Julie, like other people, like no man is an island, so to speak, no woman is an island. So like there's so much joy in that, like, you know, you're inspired by people around you, you inspire the people around you. And Julie, I'd love to know, like, you know, I hope we hear more about her too. But one of the things was like, her father had also been a Muslim, and he would also wear a cap. So when Julie saw Omar wear this cap, she was like, oh, my dad used to do that too. So there's this connection. I mean, independent of what the religion is important in this case, but regardless of what their religion was, this connection had been there between the human's spirit, that okay, like a cap, like a prayer cap, like how inspired, how much connected Julie must have felt that, oh, you know what, yes, I'm connected to the divine. And like that's just beautiful. So I mean, I like something that beautiful, like I feel it. Words don't, like my words don't do justice. Omar bin Said's word, of course, did that do justice, but I'm like so inspired. And on that note, this beautiful dress that I'm wearing, this is actually a African dress. I wear something very similar in Pakistan too, but this is like an African one, and I wore this to the opera as a tribute to the bravery, to the beauty of this wonderful Omar bin Said. And I want to show the prayer cap. You may have seen it in my other videos, but I do want to show it. Like this is something that Omar bin Said would, something very similar he would be wearing when he would pray. Even in America, like there's a picture of him and like he's wearing a cap, like there's something to be felt. So let me show you the cap. So Omar bin Said would be wearing a cap similar to his. This is a Muslim skull cap, and he would be wearing something like this. And in pictures, he is wearing actually a cap. So just amazing, just absolutely beautiful. I feel so blessed to experience it. So beautiful to be able to share this, and the human spirit is indomitable. Like it's the human spirit is like amazing. Like what a spirit! What how much freedom can one have? Like I mean, how much freedom can one have? Like even like far away from your home, from your the language he spoke, nobody else understood it there. Even like Umar bin Said would speak Arabic, and like no one understood it there. Like even then he would be free. So a lot of modern people tell us, or modern spiritual teachers tell you about, oh yeah, like you don't have to be like, there's mental freedom, and then there's emotional freedom, inner freedom. And like most of them can't really tell you a good example of, okay, where show me a person who had this, right? But like Umar bin Said is an example of where inner freedom is actually achieved. Like an enslaved person, a physically enslaved person, completely free, writing even in a jail cell, away from home, no one, like the encouragement coming from different sources, and still being able to listen and respond and be a light. So that's an example of a free person, like a free in the most wonderful and the most complete way, like a free person. So may God bless him. What a person. I'm so inspired, and yes, I do hope to achieve, and feel the freedom that he displayed. And what an inspiration to everyone, no matter what the faith or belief or whatever, like Julie or Omar, like like both are amazing people. But yeah, it's just so I just wanted to share this, like really beautiful experience I had. You can read more about Umar bin Said, in you can just search for him, or like a link to some resources. And he actually wrote very beautifully too. He writes in Arabic, and if you look at his writing, it's very beautiful. And as a calligrapher, like I was looking at it, and I was like, oh man, this is like so beautiful. Like the Kufic that he writes, just extremely beautiful. And what a man. So thank you so much, and may everyone be inspired and free. Thank you.